after my shattering experience last time, I'm taking a break from the spatula, which, because time is weird and video release is weird, and you might see sneak peek, it's wider than it was. But I was looking at this end and thinking, what the heck am I going to do with this? You know, it's roughly a bottle opener shape. I could widen that, put a little, and make a bottle opener, but I don't know, that's kind of dull and boring. I was looking at it and thinking, oh, this sort of has like one of those like video game kunai sort of things going on. And my brain kept going, well, you know, if you like bent it and curved it a little bit, you can make sort of a karambit kind of thing out of it and have your little fighting knife. I homed and ahad, this is spring steel after all, so why not make a knife out of it? So I'm going to make a low stress knife out of this and turn it into a mushroom gathering knife for my wonderful willow. So I'm going to toss this in the forge and we will start seeing what we can do with it. I have an idea in my mind, but mostly this is just going to be playing a little, almost kind of a stress relief sort of thing, just because I need to do something and I really don't want to go back to trying to figure out what I'm doing with that spatula, though I think I already have it figured out. I don't want to do it. As I left the last one, I've annealed this and the spatula head. I annealed and then rehardened and tempered my punch and my chisel that kept blunting on me. So theoretically my tools are ready to go. Let's do it. It's a gray and rainy day. Here I am out in front of my forge, babysitting a chisel. In the last video, I stopped and annealed pretty much everything, which is to say the spatula, both pieces, the my punch, round punch, and my slit chisel. So my intention is to reharden, retemper, reharden, retemper, and essentially restart. So now it's that super fun part of trying to get the thicker part warmed up while the cooler or the thinner part doesn't get overly warm, which it is. A little bit more. Alright. Die hard, still feel the need to move it a lot. Whoop. Which of course causes fire, since this was very warm going in there. Still plenty of residual heat in there, maybe hold it down a little more. You can stop leaving anything out here. It's getting rusty too, and that's awful. Okay. Kind of feels like it could have gotten a little harder. Yeah, that's way too soft. The hell did I do wrong there? I wonder if it was because the oil was a little cool, I hadn't warmed it up properly. Ah, for pity's sake. Fire. to the difference. I don't know if you can hear that over all the other noise. This end, which didn't get quenched, sounds a lot different from this end. Alright, I'm thinking that's probably how that's going to be. You can see the steam coming off my little cover from my forge here. Fun little detail I hadn't noticed. Jump back to that kind of differential test. Soft end. Okay. I feel like that's about where the hard end was last time. Well, the hard end is still just I don't know. The very end is kind of skating. I don't know. Maybe we'll give it a try. Worst comes to worst, I go through the whole process a third time. Or fourth time, or however many times it takes to figure out what the heck I'm doing. As before, I gave them a very quick polish on the belt grinder. Gave them a cleaning in isopropyl alcohol to get the oil off. And I have my chisel tucked butt first into the forge. Just letting some of that residual heat, since it's off, work its way up. I'm at a point where I'm starting to get color at the very top of the area I've cleared off. I think once it really hits there, or gets, I don't know, maybe even halfway down, that will be my time to start moving quick. I did bring my little propane torch up since we're probably going to be using that, as this is taking forever and a day. So, I kind of went a little bit farther than I should have. I was trying to get this sort of golden color across the whole thing, but you can see I have some dark spots in the middle. I'm not quite 100% sure what happened there. It must have been a bit of a linger of the torch. That's the only thing I can think of. I feel like getting it in the warming it up in the forge when it's, you know, it still has plenty of heat in there does help a bit, as it seems to get the handle at the very least a little bit soaked in the flame. So it's a start. Right now it's just a touch under the straw that I would want to quench, say, or temper a kitchen knife at. I'm waiting for that heat to crawl just a little bit more before giving it a quench to stop it. God, just a little bit. As that heat's crawling up the bottom here, this blue and the purple into the gold, like each of these colors is a little bit softer, I guess you'd say, than the previous, or indicates the heat in the steel has brought it to a softer level. So the difference between the front, which is that very light color, and that gold is very minimal. Hell, I'm calling it. So I did that in the wrong order. First thin out the legs and then knock it out of round. Because if you knock it out of round and then put it back on the thing, you kind of knock it back into round. But as I'm sure many of you will be able to immediately tell, things have changed a little bit. The anvil is really rusty. We had a massive rain and windstorm come through the other day. and it kind of, well, made a mess out of everything. It blew in and through and around, and it knocked open the door and picked up the flaps of the tent and made a real mess of things. So everything in here got drenched. I did not pull things out and put them safely in the basement as I should have. Oh yeah, and there's this big ass chain wrapped around the bottom, about 12 feet or so of these massive half-inch links, just kind of wrapped fairly tight around it to collect some of that rattle, and it has made a massive difference, as I'm sure you heard. That kind of moved it all over the place, didn't it? Thin that down a fair bit. I wonder. No, I'd have to thread it like, yeah, that won't quite work, will it? Nope. Alright, there's a thought. Whee! Spun around and jumped off. Oh, it has a little stowaway friend too. Get out here. You weren't invited. All the tools I have out here, the one I do not have is a tape measure, because I took it inside for whatever reason. But, you know, we can do. If I wipe that off, I wanted to back up. Okay, I need to rethink my strategy here. Other than vastly underestimating how much I needed to pull out, that seems to be working. That's roughly the width I want. Alright, take two. That worked much better. Okay. Ah, dang nabbit, that needs a little bit more. Okay. slow motion drop in normal time. Normal time, real time, however you want to call it. Another story. Alright, here's the real test. That side's still pretty loud, but not like it was. Keep trying to quench it mid-forge in the mud puddle down there. Serve as a lanyard hole and also to give it a little more length for the grip. Not quite. Shit. That was probably not what I should have done with those. By golly, I think that went blue and that overheated it compared to... On the other hand, that's another very clean punch. I'm pretty proud of that. Punch become drift, go! You know, that's getting awful. Awful distracted. Awful cold. It's probably fine for a little straightening out, I hope. Whoop, and a bit more straightening out. Okay, it's fine. wonder if I keep nicking the edge of my hole, my Pritchel hole, or if it's just that wimpy. I don't know. Oh no, I got all screwy. I mean, it's kind of cool. Got this weird little heart-shaped thing going on. I don't know how to fix this. Shake. That definitely needs to come off. On the other hand, that handle needs a lot of work. Straightening it out and flattening her up. The distal taper in the grip. It's not really what you would typically do, I don't think. I'm sure there are specific cases where you would. So I want to let this handle cool off a bit so I can go give it a test fit. It's still pretty rough and ugly right now, but for coming out of a scrap, I think it'll do nicely. And I think lengthwise it should be plenty long enough. So I don't know, here's hoping. But the fact that I need to let this cool means I'm gonna pretty much call it here for my day. A good friend of mine once said that I'm like a Mega Man villain. I'm immune to cold, but I take double damage from fire. Today it's raining, it's 45 degrees, that's about 7 Celsius. I'm not wearing exactly waterproof shoes, kind of standing in a mud puddle, I'm all damp, and I'm looking forward to a nice warm shower. So for me, it'll be tomorrow. For you, it'll probably be a couple second clock wipe or something.